Well, thank you, Pega, and welcome to your City Hall. And thank you to Reza and all of the leaders at the Iranian Heritage Society of Edmonton. You've been a tremendous source of leadership and comfort, and we're very grateful for your partnership in organizing today's event and for your extraordinary strength over the last 45 days. You are extraordinary Edmontonians, and I'm grateful. Thank you also to the City of Edmonton Protocol Office, security staff, staff from my office, for your efforts on shorter notice to make today possible. And thank you most of all to each of you for attending here today, to join together in solidarity and in sadness and in search for answers and in search for justice. So it is with deep sadness that we join together here today as we continue to mourn a tragic and nearly inexplicable loss of life arising from the crash of Ukraine International Flight 752. This immense loss of life that took place on that January day is still hard to wrap your head around. Even more so since the last time we've spoken about it together, to have found that the plane was shot down intentionally with 2 missiles. And so each loss of life and all of that loss put together leaves a tremendous scar on the hearts of the loved ones who are left behind, causes ripple effects that continue to be felt all around the world. And we feel this suffering because we know the impact that losing a mother or a sister or an uncle or a grandfather or a friend can have on any one of our lives, especially in a heartbreaking and unexpected and horrific loss like this. And as Edmontonians, we feel this loss and we have this suffering because 13 of the victims were from here, themselves, fathers, mothers, children, doctors, engineers, students, leaders, and everything in between. Valued members of our greater community, and we are here to honor and celebrate their lives and treasure their memory. It falls to us to hold and remember their dreams, their hopes, their many accomplishments. And to the families that are here today, know that the City of Edmonton and its people continue to grieve with you. I had the opportunity last week to meet some of Pedram and Mojgan's direct family members and hear firsthand from them the devastating impact of the loss of their loved ones and their daughters and grandchildren. And that made it real for me in a different way. But it also reminded me that there are many who live on after this tragedy. And we can thank them for helping to create and bring to us for all too brief a time some truly extraordinary human beings. And I was deeply moved at the event that the university held last month at the extraordinary testimonials shared by friends and community members and colleagues that brought to life each of these 13 souls in a resonant way that I hope supported some healing, but also, again, made real that these are human lives that were lost and that they were interconnected with our community in a way that has been devastating to so many of you and so many people in our city, and so many people in our country, and so many people around the world. But we know unequivocally that Edmonton and Canada and the world is stronger because of diversity, and that particularly here in Canada, that the spirit of multiculturalism and pluralism is one of our best attributes, and that our lost Iranian friends and neighbors were a vital part of this community. This was not an Iranian-Canadian tragedy. This was a Canadian tragedy involving Iranian Canadians. And so today, in honor of each victim of this tragedy, I'd like us all to take the time to reach out to others who we may not have met yet, from other communities we may not be familiar yet, and to build bridges and learn their stories and encounter their common humanity, and then in so doing together, create the future for our city and for our country that each of these people knew was possible. And through us, their lives may be remembered and their legacies can continue to be honored. So later today, I'll have the opportunity to present the book of condolences that was at City Hall after the tragedy to Reza, and through him to the Iranian Canadian community here in Edmonton, on behalf of the city of Edmonton and its people, as you continue to have our greatest sympathy at this tragic loss. Thank you.